I love this guy. Dude, I just love him. I've loved him for years. He is just a legend, and let's give him the proper intro here. Our good friend Fireman Ed, what's up, man?
You know what? Every time I hear that, it just pumps me up. I love hearing that Jet chant. That Jet chant. Just remember one thing. That's the greatest chant in all of sports. And one day they'll realize this, because when we take that Lombardi trophy home, then they'll realize how powerful it truly was. So we'll see. It's coming.
Well, Ed, first of all, thank you for your time, and congratulations, man. You were inducted to the Jets Fan Hall of Fame, which was beyond deserved because you've done so much representing the fans over the years and rocking MetLife and rocking the Meadowlands. So congratulations, man. And what was that like for you?
It was awesome. You know, obviously I wish it would have been, you know, in the beginning of the year, but sometimes the Jets don't always do, you know, their brasses. You know, I've said for years, I've talked to you, Tyson, about this. I mean, the white-collar guys, I don't think they have a clue of what we're actually experiencing and what we feel in our passion. So, you know, I got to give them. Listen, I'm honored. It was an awesome, you know, an honor. I mean, just to be recognized from the organization and the fans. You know, what can I say? I mean, you know, I'm overwhelmed by it. I would have liked to see it being done early in the year, because I think the fans would have really appreciated it more. But the Jets did do a nice job, and hopefully, as you know, the next years that they do it, I hope they do it earlier in the year, so the whoever does get that honor, you know, gets their just due. So I hope that happens. But all the kudos to the Jets for even recognizing the fans and the Jet chant. So I'm very happy. Thank you.
Yeah, Ed, this is Joe, man. You know, I love you, dude.
Big Joe.
every
Big Long Beach
time.
Joe.
That's what I'm saying. Every single time, you know, I come out there, we got to have our discussion. We've got to debate about the Jets, man. But one thing that really blew me away last season, when you made the return on Thursday night, dude, and you just rocked MetLife with the chant. How did that all go down, and can you break it down for the fans that are listening about, you know, what you did to get there?
Well, you know what? Honestly, that was just spur of the moment. I mean, I didn't have my helmet. Honestly, you know what? When I left, I told you guys I never wanted to leave to begin with. You know, there was plenty of times, you know, I've been at every game since I did leave. And, you know, there was times where I sat there and just said, this place needs to rock. This is the time. You know, the one thing that I always was able to do was, through the years, I always knew when the right time was and how to get the place going. So, you know, I was blessed, you know, that I was able to get the response from the fans like that through the years. So, I don't know. That night, you know, was you know, I seen the way the game was going. It was, you know, I think when I first started, I think it was like 10-7 or something. It was a close game, and I just didn't like what I was seeing. I thought it was going to start turning, and I said, you know what, F this, and I went down the aisle. Honestly, didn't expect any of the fans to even, you know, respond to it. I just said, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. So I looked over to the right, and the fans, when they seen me, they did get a little nutty, which was awesome. I was honored. And then I went to the left, and I made sure it counted quick. Boom. Banged one out, and I said, oh, I think I still got it. And then it just got louder, and it got crazier. And, you know, fortunately, the players and the fan base started to realize what was going on, and anybody that was at the game knows it wound up being magical. It was crazy. It just was a crazy night, and you know, I didn't plan on doing it. It just happened. So I'm glad that the fans responded to me. I'm thankful for that, and once again honored that, you know, I can get the crowd still rocking. So you know, it is an honor.
Now, Ed, you mentioned earlier, I know all these answers, but we want to just kind of confirm some of these things for the listeners. And you mentioned you still go to all the games. You go on road games. That's something you've never given up on it. And why, it's just like, can you kind of just reiterate to fans, like, listen, you walked away because, you felt it was your time to go, but you're still everywhere.
Well, what happened was, Tyson, you know what happened. I had an altercation in the bathroom on that Thanksgiving night. Didn't really talk about it at the time, and, that wound up happening. And, between these cell phones, everybody has a cell phone. And, this is the age of got ya. Everybody's looking to get the next guy, oh, look what he did, and when you get in, when you have you're a little bit of the limelight, everybody's pulling those phones out. Remember, if there's an accident or there's a fight in the street, everybody's pulling the phones out. So, what I've always told the players that are on the field that have asked me to come back, I says, you guys are on the field. I'm in the stands. I'm dealing with all these maniacs. So I've been dealing with them for years. And listen, 97% of the fans are outrageous, and they're the best. We have the greatest fans. We're so underrated, I believe. But, you have that 3% that don't like Fireman Ed. And, whatever it is, you want to call it 5, you want to call it whatever the percentage is. I don't think it's a lot, but, and they make it difficult, and with this day and age with these phones, it's just, it's hard to be in the limelight like that. So, my passion and my love for the game has never wavered, and my love for the Jets and the fans have never wavered. I left because it's a different time than when I grew up. You got to remember, guys, I did that for almost 3 decades. I did that for 28 years, and there's a different time and element in this life. You know that. Everybody sees it, and so it's not as simple to be out there doing it every game in, game out, and so, it is what it is. But I've never lost the passion and love for it, and I know that I can rock the house. I go back there tomorrow, I'll rock that house. I know I can, and, so that's what it is, Yeah,
and the thing is, I know you obviously, and dude, in the parking lot, you got people going crazy. We've been on road trips together, and you can rock bars, stadiums, parking lots, whatever it is. Do you ever get that urge to call the Jets and be like, hey, man, you know what? It's the home opener, or it's this game. I want to get back in it. Do you ever get that urge to say, listen, I just want to help get this team, get this crowd back into it? Because let's be honest, man, that stadium's been struggling for a couple of years now.
Well, Scotty and the Jet man, they're trying. So I got to give them, their props. They're trying their best. It's not easy. Remember, guys, I did it for almost 3 decades, so it's hard to replace that, and not to be cocky, it just is. I mean, whether it was me or someone else, if you're there that long, it just, you do become a presence, and so it's harder for them. Do I talk to the Jet organization? Absolutely. I actually had a nice conversation with Chris Johnson when they did induct me into the Hall of Fame, and when he did give me the Hall of Fame jacket, it was an honor. So I got a chance to talk to Chris, and he had some really kind words to say about me for that Thursday night game, and I'm not going to get into too much what he said, but it was very positive, and it was complimentary. I was actually honored what he was saying to me. So I told him. He said to me, "Would you ever come back if we asked?" I says, "You have my number?" He says, "Yeah." I says, "Just remember, I always bleed green and white, and I love the Jets. So if I can help out in the future, you call me. We'll work it out. Am I coming back every game? Absolutely not. That's not happening. But if I can help out, if the fans would want me to come back for a game or that, I would never turn my back on the Jets, ever. I'm at every game, and like I always said, like I say to Kevin Sirkin, and I say to Jason, you know what? Never say never, brother."
Yeah, I hear you there, Ed. I want to get to the team with you, man, because Maccagnan's done some things this offseason, and some people are excited about it. What are your thoughts on the job Maccagnan has done this offseason?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. If you take away the Christian Hackenberg pick, I love what Maccagnan has done. All right, I think he's building quite a team here. First off, I love when he gets the big boys up front. I love that he went out and got Spencer Long. I love he went out and got Travis Swenson. I love that he went out and re-signed our offensive linemen that we've been trying to teach for years, Igelana and Dozier and Quavale. I love the depth of the offensive line. I mean, I'm looking at 10 deep on the offensive line right now. If this kid Shell can come into his third year and really make an impact, we've seen that Winters just said that his abdomen was pulled. I thought our weak link was that center position, and I think they reinforced it not only once but twice with two different guys. So, I'm excited about what Maccagnan's doing. I'm going to be more excited next Thursday when we get our franchise quarterback, which we've been waiting for quite some time. The big thing is I want to see them, which they've already done. They're surrounding that quarterback room. I want that quarterback room to be a experienced unit, which you got Josh McCowan, you got Teddy Bridgewater, okay, and you got our offensive coordinator, Jeremy Bates. Let's not do what we did with Sanchez and have constant coordinators, and rather than building the team around the quarterback, we're going to do everything but build around the quarterback. Now we get the quarterback. Let's surround the quarterback and rally around this piece that we've all been waiting forever for. We've all been waiting forever. And there's four of them there. There's four of them right there. So let's rally around this. I like what Maccagnan's doing, absolutely. I think we're in the right direction, and I couldn't be more excited about this team.
Yeah, I'm really excited for some of the things he did on defense as well. The Tremaine Johnson signing, bringing in Williamson to help out our linebacker position. I think he did some solid things. But even going back to what you were talking about, sticking with getting that young quarterback in here, did you like the old move of trading up to 3? Did you like that we only gave up a couple of second-round picks to get the move up?
I think that when this is said and done, did you hear Billy Bean today from Buffalo? Did you hear him crying?
Yep.
Did you hear him whining?
Yep.
That was crying. You know that, right? That was whining. Because it was whining. And, I mean, that should be on the front page tomorrow with a little crybaby face, a little with the rattle. Because we were smart enough to go up early on, and luckily we got with Ballard from the Colts. And I remember the guys, a lot of my buddies saying to me, wow, we gave up 3 number 2s. And I said, but we didn't give up 1. And what do you think we were going to do to get up there? How'd you think we were going to get up there? What were you going to give them? What were you going to give them? I said, and let me tell you something. As the weeks go on, I said this to him. I said, as the weeks go on, the price just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. So that's what Buffalo's seeing now. They're going to have 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s. Listen, and they're crying. They're crying. You're going to see ultimately Maccagnan's move will ultimately, listen, if we get this franchise, if the one we pick pans out, it's going to be a steal what he did. Hopefully that's the case when we talk in 2 or 3 years from now.
No, I completely agree with you, man. The minute the trade came out, I'm like, all right, I like the move. Then you see the compensation, I'm like, jackpot. I'm like, no first-round pick, not even next year. You didn't mortgage your entire draft. I'm like, this is perfect.
Nope.
It's bold, it's aggressive, and it avoided draft night jitters where you're sitting there sweating like crazy, like, oh, my God, please don't get fleeced. Please don't screw this up. Please don't be leveraged for somebody else. It was perfect. It made sense on every aspect. But now, Ed, you mentioned there's 4 quarterbacks. Is there a guy you kind of have your eye on that you want to get at 3?
Tyson, I got the 4 guys, and, I've read and we've all read, and you're getting to the point where your brain is getting tattered from all the reading you're doing and all the different people that like this quarterback. It's amazing how all 4 quarterbacks are liked by different gurus or the people that are supposed to be in the know I mean, it's so varied. It's not like there's everybody centered on the one guy. It's unbelievable. The four guys. I mean, you have Boomer Esiason and Phil Simms loving Josh Allen. Loving him. I mean, crazy about him. All right? Then you got Sam Darnold. You know, you got a bunch of them all thinking Sam Darnold, Kuiper, McShay, what's his face from Mike Mayock, all love Darnold, right? Then you got Mayfield. You got this kid, Greg, Howard Cosell's son, Greg Cosell. He just comes out with an article today. Josh Rosen, the best player in the draft, and I like Cosell. I think he's money. You know, it's just all over the map. It's Mayfield. Guys love Mayfield. Listen, that Scouts Inc. says in the last 20 years they've never seen four quarterbacks. They're all ranked 90 or higher. So, and they're pretty accurate, that Scouts Inc. So, hopefully all four hit, and we don't have to worry that we didn't take the right guy and all four hit. Who we're going to get? I honestly don't know. My gut says it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of the Joshes. That's my gut. I think it's going to be either Allen or Rosen. That's my gut. So we'll see.
Now, Ed. But see, Ed, I know you, man, and you're a passionate and we've hung out at games before, and you get all fired up.
Yep.
How awesome would it be to have a Baker Mayfield do with his swag like that, bring like that Rex Ryan bravado back, but on the offensive side of the ball? How awesome would that be, man, to have him, if he plays at a high level, as the quarterback of the Jets?
I get excited when I think about Baker Mayfield. The only thing that, I'm not fond of his size. That's the only thing that makes me hesitant with him. But his everything, his intangibles, his swagger, his playing in big time football. He's played at venues where that Ohio State, he lit them up, and that was a good team. He played. I mean, he lit up Clemson. I mean, you're talking about big time football teams here. So, listen, if we get Baker Mayfield, whoever we get, Tyson, I'm gonna be fully behind. I think the fan base obviously will be fully behind them. I would sure hope so. They've been waiting. All they've been doing is crying about we don't have a quarterback. Well, now you can have a choice of four of them. Are you going to be picking them apart now? You're going to pick each guy apart now? First off, really, in reality, none of us know what they're talking about. Okay? So we leave it to the experts to do that. And hopefully we have the guy behind the helm that is going to do it. He keeps getting, beaten up for his pick with Hackenberg. Remember, it's a second-round pick. Not a first-round pick. And not a top 5 pick by that standard. So, I'm on the other end. I think this guy has put his homework in because they didn't think they were going to be. Remember this time last year, we were sucked for Sam. Okay? Remember that? And everybody trying to tank the season. All right? Well, you're at the number 3 pick. If you tank the season, you would have been. If you would have told them last year we were going to pick number 3, people would have been jumping through hoops knowing we're picking 3 when there's 4 quarterbacks out there.
Yeah, and I hear you there, Ed. I know we're all excited about getting in that young QB. We're all excited about seeing who we get in the draft. But there's some fans out there that definitely have questions about Todd Bowles and Jeremy Bates and their ability to develop a young quarterback. Do you have faith in Todd Bowles and Jeremy Bates to do that?
Well, I don't know about Todd Bowles. He's a defensive coordinator. So what I want to see is them and what they are doing, and I was very thankful they signed Josh McCown. I know I was hearing bitching about $10 million that they signed him for. Let me tell you something. That kid, I talked to him last year at the end of the year, all right, the last game on the sideline, and Imagine he was in this league for 15 years. He said this was the best locker room and best organization he's ever played for. That's what he told me. Okay? So I want to see him, and I think the plan will be after this year. I think he will wind up being a quarterback coach. I do believe that. I believe they will not let him out of that building. And between him and Jeremy Bates, this is what you want for a kid that you're going to draft. This is exactly the formula. Remember one thing, the Giants, when they had Eli Manning, they had Kevin Gilbride for 10 years, all right? They filled in the pieces. They had the same offense for 10 years. They made, what's his face, number 80, Victor Cruz. They made him a household name. He was nothing. Any receiver that they got came in there, and Eli throws to a spot. That's what he does. He throws to a spot because it's the same offense. And now you gotta go to the offense, not the offense going to you. And that's what I want to see us become. With this young kid, you keep the same offense. Keep it consistent. And when you do that, you have a legitimate chance year in and year out to win in this league. You have year in and year out, you have a chance to win. Look at all the teams that win. They have consistency. That's what they have. And that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, no arguments here, man. I completely agree with you. And the Giants also had Kurt Warner, too, there when Eli was first there to help transition him, help guide him, things like that, which Josh McCown could help with. So, Ed, we talked about offense. On defense, just quickly, is how excited is it to have Jamal Adams and Marcus Bay back there in the secondary?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what they're formulating on that defensive end of the ball, man, I'll tell you what, honestly, they're one player away from, I really believe, being dominant. They get that pass rusher in there. That defense is going to be scary, man. And I still think Todd is starting to get his defense that he wanted, that he ran in Arizona. He's got all these guys on the defensive backs and linebackers. He loves to blitz. When you have that fast speed that tacklers, he loves good tacklers. He loves guys that can, hold the edge, that can, come up and make tackles on those short slants and, outs. This is what he's all about. He's about pressuring the quarterback and making sure, having guys that can make tackles that when you blitz and you're out there on the island, you can make a tackle. And that's what he signed Trumaine Johnson, and he's got May, and he's got that he has, and he's assembling. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And I'll tell you what, they're going to be fast and rolling around the ball. We need one more guy, and I know they're searching for that guy. And when training camp comes, who knows who's going to get cut? Let's see what happens. But that defensive end of the ball, you got to be excited about that defensive end of the ball. And Jamal Adams, I mean, don't you love when you hear him on Twitter? I mean, that guy, if everybody has that attitude that he has, he believes that they're on the path to winning the world championship. He constantly says it, and he believes it. He believes it, and you got to love that because that's contagious, man. It's exciting.
No, I agree, man. It's like he's one of the guys where he embraces being a Jet. He's proud to be here, and he wants to win more than anything. It's like you could just sense it. You could feel it. He's willing to work for it. And another player that's like that, but seems to be getting criticized a little bit, and I'm not exactly sure why, is Leonard Williams. What is your take on Leonard Williams, man, and his play so far with the Jets?
Leonard Williams, I think, is underachieving right now. I don't know if he was nicked up last year. I know Meathead Mo Wilkerson had something to do with that. I tell you, that guy was what a disappointment. Leonard Williams, I'm expecting a big year out of him, but we'll see. I mean, I think he has all the goods to be, but I'm a little disappointed in him. I thought we would have seen more out of him last year. I honestly did. I think he's getting double teamed on a consistent basis. Mm-hmm. He's getting double teamed, so it's not easy, But, I mean, I love Leonard Williams. I love everything about him. I would love to see him have that monster year like Mo Wilkerson had that one year.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely bounce back this year, and I think he'll have a solid year. As you spoke on that, he was getting double-teamed. He also had a little bit of a hand injury as well. So I think that kind of hampered his play. But even this year, you saw, in certain games, he would come out and just absolute beast. He's just got to get a little bit more consistent. And I think next year he'll do that. He'll be right back to his regular form and back to the old Leonard Williams that we know. So, but I want to get to a player that has announced their retirement. And it's crazy to see him go, because as I'm just about to say his name, just all the memories start flashing in my head, all the plays I watch him, how he's just dominating people out there. What are your thoughts on the retirement of Nick Mangold?
Oh, man, I mean, Nick Mangold personifies a Jet. I mean, everything that you would want from a player, from number one drafting him in the organization to him replacing a legendary Jet that's going to probably go in the Hall of Fame next year, Kevin Mawae, just the pressure to be able to fill those shoes, and boy, did he fill those shoes. I love his letter that he wrote today, and, his only disappointment was not bringing home the trophy, and yet he thinks he wants to help bring that Lombardi trophy in maybe another regard. So maybe we're going to get him somewhere in the organization to help out, which was very enlightening today to hear that letter. If anybody didn't read his letter, he refers to that. So that's, I'm assuming they're going to try to work something out with him. I love to see a guy like him and David Harris come back into the organization. This is what the organization has lacked through the years. They need to embrace the players that have made such a substantial difference in this organization. And, he's going to go into the Ring of Honor. I would like to see Rob Carpenter tweeted out today. I thought it was a great thought that him and Ferguson should be together in the Ring of Honor. So, Nick, great a Jet as there was in this organization, I would say he ranks up there with the Kleckos and the Namaths and the Curtis Martins and the Corbettes and, guys, when you think of Jets, that's what you think of. So Nick Mangold's right up there. He'll be in that Ring of Honor shortly with the Brickishaw.
Yeah. Absolutely, and I've gone as far as to say, look, the Ring of Honor, he'll definitely be in it, but I think he should absolutely be in the Hall of Fame as well. I think he should make it off the first ballot. I mean, I don't know if I've, especially with our franchise outside of Mawae, I don't think there's been a more dominant center that we've ever had. And that kind of leads me to my next question with you is, who is your favorite Jet player of all time?
Well, I always wore Bruce Harper, so he always has a special place in my heart. So I got him for a reason when I was young. I was in 1979. I went out and got a Bruce Harper jersey. I went to Cosby's in Manhattan. That was the place you could only go to get a jersey, tailor-made jersey, so, with the numbers sewn on. So Bruce would definitely have to be probably my number one guy. But I love Curtis, Klecko, Corbett. I wasn't a Jet fan when Joe Willie was here. I was only 9, 10 years old. My father didn't like football, so I wasn't a Jet fan. I didn't get a Jet fan until I was 15. Those would be the guys, Curtis and Klecko, and love Marty Lyons. Those were some guys, Randy Rasmussen, Joe Fields. Those are some great players, man. Mickey Shula.
David Harris.
David Harris. I love the Hitman. Love the Hitman. Love the Hitman. He's another guy's going in the Ring of Honor. I mean, these are guys that we drafted that, David going to New England was a killer, and then that mother up there, that clam face, didn't even play him. That pissed me off. Clam face. He's getting handled. You see there's an uproar up there, right? You see if you can't be blind to that. You got no Gronkowski and no Brady showing up to the OTAs, bro. That's if that ain't some handwriting on the wall, all right, and then you got Amendola talking about he's hard to play for. I mean, that's, it's the beginning of the end up there, which is a beautiful thing. I can't come soon enough.
No, I could not agree more. And Ed, as we start to wrap things up, the draft is about a week away, a couple days away. What do you do for the draft, man? Do you have any kind of like rituals, or what do you do on draft night?
You know what? I'm probably staying home. I've thought about having a party. I've thought about a lot of things, and I think I'm just going to sit home and be a maniac. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to sit home, be a maniac, and get real excited about that number 3 pick, and we're going to get our franchise quarterback. And, I'm going to be happy for the fan base because it's going to be exciting to see which one of those kids we're going to get. They're all kids. So, and they're all talented. All 4 of them are talented, man. Big time talented. So,
do you have a prediction?
My gut, I don't know, man. It's so hard. It really is. It really goes down to those 2 picks. I mean, I think Cleveland's taking Donald. I think he's taking Donald. So it's really the Giants. Are they going to trade out of there? That's because I think they want Donald. And if they don't get Donald, then I think they'll trade out of there. I can't see them taking Barkley. I can't see that organization taking enough of Barkley. I'm going to say it's not going to be – I see the fan base. I see what they're voting. I can see us taking Allen, bro. And I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed in that. I think that kid is a beast. I think he is a absolute beast that needs to be worked on, and there's no rush. But if we take him, I have no problem with that. I'm more concerned with. I think Rosen is such a talented kid, but I don't want to hear my quarterback tell me his presidential preference. I don't give a rat's ass what you think, okay? Just play football, okay? I don't ever want to hear any of our athletes talk about politics or world issues. Shut up. Just play ball, man. Nobody wants to hear that. Okay, nobody. We're here to play football. All right? Just like when I hear musicians, I don't want to hear what you have to say. Just play the song. Shut up. All right? Shut up. So that's what scares me with Rosen. I think he's got all the talent in the world. I think Mayfield's got the it factor, but I worry about his height. I think Donald is I think he's the player. If you gave me the choice of the 4 of them, Donald would be the guy. That's who I want. But I don't think we're going to have a shot at him. I don't think we have a shot at him. But I will not be disappointed in any of the other 3. I will not be disappointed in any of those 3 players. No way. Because I've just read and pounding this for a year. So I think they're all going to be good. All of them. I really do. I think they're all going to be good players. It's just how we groom them. It's going to be up to us.
I got to tell you right now, man, if they take Josh Allen, you're going to have to give me about a gallon full of, like, Fireball and Scotch and whiskey just to calm me down, and then I'll probably come back to reality.
Why don't you like him? Because he's small school?
I don't like
completed percentage? Or
my concern is his accuracy. He's not a consistent thrower. He's not very accurate, and that makes me nervous.
Okay.
But, I mean, listen, I can get over it. I mean, like I said, a lot of booze, and I'll go open-minded after the first initial shock. I'll be open-minded. I'll support him like everybody else. But I'm a Mayfield guy.
You know what makes me when I hear the guys that love him, that I respect, like a Sims and an Esiason, man, I can't look away from that because those guys played the game at a high level, man. And they love him. They've been talking about him they've been talking about him in the middle of the season. They were talking about him. And they still are. You interview him, they love him. Love him. They think he's gonna be a stud player, hands down. Not even close. They don't think it's close. So I don't know. I just think all of them are going to be. I think Tyson, no matter what, I think we're going to be in good shape no matter which guy we get. I really do. I think finally we've gotten a break where, you know what, this is the first time we're actually going to be able to pick one of these four guys and not be gambling. I think all four of them are going to make it. I do. Just which one's going to be the stud of the studs. Remember, you can't rely. You still need to build your team. You still need to get an offense. Still need to have your offensive line. Still need to have a defense. You can't. There ain't a lot of Tom Brady's out there, dude, and he was the 6th-round pick. So, you still got to have it. Remember, Aaron Rodgers, look at him, as good as he is. Dude, you got to have a defense. Right? Look at Ask Marino. Ask Dan Marino. Ask Dan Marino if he wish he had a defense.
No,
so,
it's true.
Hey, you know what? We're going to be in much better shape than we've been in for a long time. No matter what happens, brother, believe me. And I like what this organization is doing with this Josh McCown and Bates. I love what they're doing. You just keep hearing how good this Jeremy Bates is from all of these players. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a Jet fan. I'll tell you right now. We're on the upswing in a big way, and everybody knows it around the league. And they're going to know it more. They're going to know it more when the season starts. Believe me.
Well, Ed, first of all, thank you so much for your time, man. I know you're really busy as hell, but when we announced that you were coming on, Jet fans were tweeting us and hitting us on Facebook and everything. Give a message for all the fans out there, man, because a lot of them, they love you. They love talking to you. They love meeting you in the park a lot before and after games. Give a message for all of them.
I'll tell you what, and I say this all the time, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Jet fans have been abused through the years. They've been known as wayward souls, haven't had a home. And you know what they do? They just take the beating, and they just stand their ground. And they weather the storm, and they are diehards. I believe in my heart, till the day I die, that the Jet fans are the greatest fans in the NFL. I believe that in my heart because what we've gone through and the pain that we've gone through and not having your own home and sharing a stadium with the Giants and all of that. I told Chris Johnson at the end of the year, I said to him, you don't understand. I said, the Jet fans, when they said there was 2 million Giant fans at the Canyon Heroes, I said, do you realize when we win it, how many fans are going to be at the Canyon Heroes? It'll be 5 million fans, Chris. He goes, think so? I said, I know so. I know it. I said, you know why? Because they're hiding in the weeds. They're hiding in the weeds. They got their colors on. They're hiding in the weeds. They can't wait. They can't wait for the day we can raise the Lamar Hunt Trophy in our house. And that means we're going to the Super Bowl. And we go to the Super Bowl, we're going to dominate that stadium. There'll be 80, 90% will be Jet fans. We're going to rock that place. We'll rock that place. Be the first time in the history of the Super Bowl that the place was just overwhelmed by what we're going to do. So, yeah, the Jet fans, that's my message. Hang in there. You've hung in there all this time. Good days are ahead, my friend. Next Thursday, rejoice. Rejoice, no matter what quarterback. Rejoice, embrace him, and support him. And give him the love that he deserves. And let him see that this fan base is just what we are, the greatest fan base in all of sports.
Thank you so much, man. We appreciate your time. And after this draft is over, we'll bring you back on. We'll break this all down. And we got to grab a beer soon, man. We haven't had a beer in a while.
God bless you and Tyson. You know you're my favorite, bro. You know that. And Long Beach Joe, whenever I see you, man, you know you're always shut me up, man. You know that. So, you know, guys, I'm always on board with you guys. I love what you do. Think you do a great job. And I look forward to the day when we can raise the trophy, the Lombardi trophy. Anyway, enjoy, fellas, and I'll definitely come on anytime. And I'm excited. Be excited. Get fired up. I know I am. Enjoy. Okay.
Thank you, Ed.
All right.
Well, Joe, good old Fireman Ed, of course, did not disappoint, man. I could talk to him for hours. I think we have talked to him for hours, to be honest with you, in the parking lot. We can't stop talking to him. But, dude, how great was that? He broke it all down for us, and even some interesting insight on Josh Allen that kind of surprised us a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it seems like he likes Josh Allen quite a bit, and I understand, you know, him talking about his size and, you know, is in love with him as well. So I understand that. I don't necessarily feel the same way about Allen, but I understand his perspective there. But just also hearing about, you know, him going to games and getting everybody jacked up with the chants and having that place rocking, that's just always something I love hearing from Ed.